Today we're going to continue our discussion on digestive health. Now we're going to cover a lot of different topics. First will be about your digestive system, the system overview. Then I'll give you a detox protocol that I've been using over 5 years, using all natural ingredients. By cleaning out the small and large intestines, that will give you a lot of health improvements. Next, we're going to talk about liabilities concerns. If you don't resolve your chronic constipation as early as possible, you must learn about all the problems that could happen to you down the line. We're going to discuss internal parasites. A lot of people overlook internal parasites on their health journey. We're going to teach you how to detox the parasites, give you some protocols, very helpful on your journey. And at the end, we're going to give you small little introductions to liver and kidney health, how you can improve the conditions of your liver and kidneys. Now, on the left-hand side, this is 2015, 10 years ago. I was going to the gym very, very often, about 5 days a week. Had a personal trainer, workout plans. I was not losing weight. It was weight loss, rebound. Now, in 2024, I look like this pretty much all year round. What changed? I learned how to clean myself from the inside, cleaned out my small and large intestines. I had a lot of issues back in 2015 regarding my digestion. And over the years, I learned how to fix it. I started cleaning out the small and large intestines beginning 2019. Now, when we're looking at our body, our physical body, you want to first learn about human physiology. We all have the same digestive system. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Inside your stomach, digestive enzymes breaking down the food. And over time, food will enter your small intestines next for nutrient absorption. The small intestine is incredibly long. It is 4.5 meters, roughly 15 feet, and followed by your large intestines over here. This is in green. This is another 1.5 meters in length, or roughly 5 feet. Combined, you have 20 feet total. Now, what is chronic constipation? You are completely filled and backed up with feces. Okay, just waste material sitting inside your body. You don't know how to get rid of it. You need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Many people cannot get this done. Now, this is another way for you to learn about your digestive system. They call this the alimentary canal. This is a simplified diagram of your digestive system. Once again, food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Digestive enzymes breaking down the food, and over time, food enters your small intestines next. This is the 4.5 meters, followed by the large intestines, another 1.5 meters in length, and out the back for elimination. What goes in through your mouth must exit out the back as waste elimination. Your digestive system is 20 feet long, roughly 6 meters. Give you a little bit of perspective. From the floor to the basketball rim is 10 feet off the floor, or roughly 3 meters. The combined length of your small and large intestines is having 2 NBA hoops stacked on top of one another. That's how long that combined height right here is 20 feet, 6 meters. That is the length of your small and large intestines combined. And through years of eating, you just have a lot of waste material trapped, not just inside the colon, but also in the small intestines. How do I know chronic constipation is a worldwide problem? I did a bit of keyword analysis on this keyword on constipation, and this keyword search volume is only going up year over year. Doesn't matter what the stock market is doing, the real estate bubble could burst tomorrow. None of that stuff matters. The number of people searching for chronic constipation relief is only going up, not just in the English language, but also in Spanish, Italian, French, Russian, Turkish, Dutch, Arabic, Farsi, Swedish. I do not care where you're coming from. People all over the world are struggling with chronic constipation. When your elimination is incomplete, residues of old feces are just building up in layers on the walls in the colon. As they putrefy, they can cause all sorts of health problems, pain, and discomfort. Now, what other problems could you have if you're dealing with chronic constipation? It could be a combination of bloating, gas, abdominal pain, rectal bleeding, hemorrhoids, anal fissures, impaction, discomfort and general malaise, urinary problems, psychological impact, changes in bowel habits. On the right hand side, I have some whole body deodorants. Why did I include whole body deodorants? Well, in 2024 and 2025, we have not just underarm deodorants, but whole body ones. And I think chronic constipation is a contributing factor to that. When you have so much waste material sitting inside of you, that waste material, that feces, that smell begins to exude or ooze through your skin. The struggle is very real. Can you relate to this? You are huffing and puffing on the toilet, begging and pleading. You may be making deals with the Almighty. You got veins popping on the side of your temples. And after all that work was, you got a whole lot of nothing. Many people, they can relate to this photo. You may have been wondering, where did all that waste material go? Because you've still been eating. Well, this is what we're going to fix. It's still somewhere trapped inside your small and large intestines. Now, taking a quick look, these are the ingredients I want you guys to get at the grocery store. So starting from the left, work our way to the right hand side. You want to get yourself some apple cider vinegar without any sugar added or any fruit infusions. We don't want any of that. You just want simple apple cider vinegar. You're going to buy yourself some limes, lemons, or grapefruit. I highly recommend using grapefruit for the taste. And you want to buy some fine grained pink salt. Okay, this is black coffee prepared separately. Now, if you're watching this video, I want you to screenshot this. These are all the items you need at the grocery store. You want to develop a detox kit. And some of you may be traveling. You can take this kit with you wherever you go. So you can always do this detox, even on the road. Over here on the right hand side, this is a bottle of water, about 2 liters in volume. Underneath, you have a metal mesh strainer. Here we have a single press squeezer for your limes, lemons, or grapefruit. Get yourself another set of measuring spoons, measuring cups. This must be the Western, and you must say the amount of milliliters on them. Many different measuring spoons all over the world. They're not going to be compatible with the ones in Asia. I'm measuring with milliliters. Apple cider vinegar. This is the pink salt. Now, if you do not want to use pink salt, you can also substitute with food-grade Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate. Some people may be worried about the sodium content in the pink salt. Well, they can just substitute with Epsom salt. This is a stainless steel thermos. Has about 1 liter or more in volume. And right above, these are stainless steel straws. Because the salt flush solution is not going to taste great, especially for beginners. It's going to take time getting used to. That's why I recommend people getting themselves some stainless steel straws to help put this down. And over here, you have another stainless steel cup to prepare your black coffee, hot black coffee, without any sugar or cream added. Now I'm going to teach you how to mix everything in the stainless steel thermos. My proportions are very specific. You want to follow through on these set of directions. I have taught this to my own family members and hundreds of people all around the world how to get this done. I want to maximize your success, your first try. So that's going to motivate you to do this, as your body needs. Now, I want to first give you guys some little bit of a heads up. So first of all, there's going to be some fasting period. It's not going to be super long, but let's just say if you're going to do this protocol on a Saturday, okay, on Friday night, you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You can still have some liquids after, but you're not eating any late night snacks after 7:30. So the night before, finish dinner at 7:30 p.m., no late night snacks, water, okay? The next morning when you wake up, say Saturday, do not eat breakfast. You can still have some liquids, it's perfectly fine. And at 11 a.m. on an empty stomach, you're going to make this in the stainless steel thermos. You're going to first add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt or food-grade Epsom salt. Oh my goodness, I may have to start over. Hold on a second. I forgot to start the other streams. Is anybody on here? YouTube, what's going on? Who's here? South Carolina? Let me know what questions you have, okay? So, it's gonna start. Yeah, what questions you have regarding digestive health, I can help you answer on this call. See, I totally forgot to go live. Well, it's alright. Everything happens for a reason, right? So over here. Oh yeah, I'm also on Kick today. This should work. Yeah. So YouTube, if you're on my YouTube live, probably the best place to ask me questions. You guys go ahead and just ask me different questions regarding digestive health. So I'm just gonna go back a few slides. I apologize because I just started the other streams. So I'm just gonna start with the protocol itself, all right? So, but throughout this presentation, you just ask me questions as you need. All right, here we go. So these are the ingredients you need to clean out the small and large intestines combined. You need apple cider vinegar, you need limes, lemons, or grapefruit. Highly recommend using grapefruit. This is pink salt. You want to get this fine grained pink salt. This is black coffee prepared separately. Over here you have bottled water. On the right, this is about 2 liters in volume. These are everything. This is everything you need. So you want to put together yourself a kit to detox on a regular basis. When it comes to detoxing, it's not just something that you do every once in a while, once every 6 months. Listen, I have a frequency of once a week. There are only 52 weeks in a year, and I take every opportunity to do something to improve my digestive health. Now, 1 week I could be doing the selfless protocol, another week I could be doing the liver and gallbladder flush protocol. So over here you have the bottled water. This is a metal mesh strainer. Over here a single press squeezer for your limes, lemons, or grapefruit. Next you have measuring spoons. You want to make sure you find the ones that say the number of milliliters on them. For example, this 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar is about 60 ml. Tablespoon, that is 15, and each teaspoon is 5 ml. So over here you want to use either pink salt, fine grained pink salt, or food grade Epsom salt. This is a stainless steel thermos, has about 1 liter in volume. Over here, these are stainless steel straws. And over here, this is a stainless steel cup for your black coffee. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to mix everything in together in the stainless steel thermos. Okay, there is a process for this. I want you guys to follow through on the set of directions. So night before, you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You're not eating any late night snacks. Let's just say you're going to do this protocol on a Saturday. That means you are not going to be, you're going to eat dinner and finish dinner around 7:30, but you're not eating late night snacks on that Friday. So this is Friday, night before, finish dinner around 7:30, no late night snacks, water is okay. Saturday, when you wake up in the morning, do not eat breakfast. You can still drink some liquids, that's perfectly fine, but you're not eating anything. And at 11 a.m. on an empty stomach, you're going to make this in the stainless steel thermos. You're going to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt or food grade Epsom salt. So that's 25 milliliters of salt total, tablespoon 15 ml. And over here, each teaspoon is 5 ml. you're going to get a total of 25. You're going to either use that pink salt, the fine grained pink salt, or you're going to substitute with food grade Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate. Next, you're going to cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes, or 1 grapefruit. You're going to cut it up. You're going to press it through the single press, squeeze it, and filter it through the metal mesh strainer. Okay, all these small little details are important. I do not want to have any seeds or any pulp inside the solution. Make the drinking process a lot smoother. You're going to add a 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar. You're going to add 2.5 cups of hot water and stir. You can stir for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You want to make sure that salt dissolves evenly in the stainless steel thermos. And after you do that, you want to add another cup of hot water and just stir. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to drink this, but before you do that, you want to practice some deep diaphragmatic breathing. A lot of you guys are very tense all the time, and if you're worried about the results, your stomach's going to lock up. You want to listen to some classical music or any type of music that you like. You can look up Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto 2, Movement 2. You put this thing on repeat. You want to be breathing through the nose, and you want to feel your stomach rise up and down. Get yourself in that deep diaphragmatic breathing. When you have this in place, it makes the solution a lot easier to go through. All right? So over here, you're going to take a tiny sip of the bottled water, hold it in your mouth. Then you're going to take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution and drink it down. Then you're going to sip on black coffee to reward yourself with a familiar taste. All right. So number 1, you're going to take a tiny sip of the bottled water, just a tiny sip. You're not trying to drink this bottled water, just a tiny sip. You're holding your mouth because you're just covering your tongue and your teeth a little bit. So when you are drinking down the salt flush solution, it's not going to shock your senses. Because when you first start trying this, you don't know what it is. And to avert that, you want to just make this process smooth as possible. Next, you're going to take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution. If it's too hot, don't drink it right away. Let it cool down a little bit. Just like when you get black coffee, hot black coffee, it's too hot initially. So you give yourself some time to let it cool down a little bit. But don't let it cool so much, because hot expands, cold contracts. I'm trying to clean your pipes right now. I'm trying to clean the small and large intestines. I want your pipes to expand a little bit, and it's going to have an easier time cleaning that pipe. And if you don't like the taste, that's why I recommend y'all to get yourself that stainless steel straw. It's going to help you drink that down. Sip on black coffee. This is a tiny sip to reward yourself with a familiar taste. You're not trying to drink the black coffee. You're not trying to chug the water. You're not trying to chug the black coffee. You're repeating steps 1 through 3, 1 through 3. Your goal is to finish the salt flush solution first. You want to put that in your stomach. Okay, do not rush. You can take 45 minutes, take an hour and a half. If you feel like throwing up, do not do anything. Set everything aside. Get back into that deep diaphragmatic breathing. Relax and do something else until those feelings subside. Once those feelings subside, then you can continue drinking the salt flush solution, repeating steps 1 through 3. Your goal is to finish the salt flush solution first. I also highly recommend you guys get yourself some type of a stool when you're using the bathroom. The human being, the human species, is designed to use the bathroom at a squatting position, not at a 90 degree. This modern toilet is causing a lot of colorectal problems because we're not designed to eliminate at a 90 degree. You guys can look this up later. This is what's going to happen, what you can expect with these poop milestones. Alright, so when you're drinking the salt flush solution, you're finishing 45 minutes, an hour and a half, I don't care. But over time, as you are getting to that deep diaphragmatic breathing, you're going to have that sensation, oh, I want to use the bathroom. So you go and sit on the toilet. Now, if nothing is coming out, I never want you to strain. I want you to be completely relaxed as possible and just allow those solids to work its way out of your colon. Many of you are so compacted with feces inside your colon right now. It is unbelievable. And when I first started doing this, I was just getting logs and logs out of my system, and it was coming out pitch black, like the color of my t-shirt. Many of you have impaction. When you even go to the bathroom, before you started doing this, you're only doing partial eliminations. You're not getting full eliminations of your bowels. And over time, you'll notice that the selfless solution is going to get all the waste material out of the colon, and even the waste material from the small intestines will exit, so it's going to become softer and softer and softer. And over time, it's going to become really, really soft. I'm talking even the selfless solution that you just drank earlier is now in the toilet. When that happens, I want you to strike while the iron is hot. You can take this bottle of water with you into the bathroom with you and continue to drink it to add more water pressure to the top of your digestive system to really flush out all the debris from both the small and large intestines. What you can expect is torn brown water, lots of it. It's going to be savage. This is the release the Kraken slide. Okay, diarrhea, tsunami, I don't care what you call it. The smell of this material coming out of you, it is outrageous. It is worse than smelling a skunk when you run over like roadkill on Interstate 5, Interstate 40, 35, I don't know where you're at. You switch that air to internal air. Well, this is much worse than that. Just imagine all the foods you've eaten all over the years. All the Bojangles, McDonald's, Burger Kings, the Costco food samples, frozen pizzas, Baskin Robbins, all the old country buffet, okay? All the sushi, sashimi, okay? All that junk food, all the Halloween candy, all the microplastics that's still stuck inside your body. Well, there's still remnants of all that food still stuck somewhere in your body. Now you're getting it all out. Now the color of this waste material coming out, because you're working with this bottled water, it should become lighter and lighter and lighter over time. It's going to start coming out pitch brown, okay? It's darker than dark chocolate. Then over time, it's going to become like milk chocolate. Then over time, it's going to become like yellowish. That's how you know you're doing it right, because you're cleaning out both the small and large intestines combined. That's why at the beginning of the presentation, I started with human physiology. Your digestive system is a very long piece of pipework that needs to be cleaned out regularly, not just every once in a while. After you do this, the first thing I want you to put down is probiotics. And I don't know which probiotic is going to work for you the best, so you have to find the winning combination for you. Probiotics, they provide a microbiome, they provide a protective layer for your stomach, for your small intestines, for your large intestines. Okay, it's going to help you digest, and you need to have that in place. And the first thing you want to put down, you want to be putting down some electrolytes. This could be watermelon juice, pomegranate juice, coconut water. Okay, you can make your own Gatorade. Don't buy Gatorade, don't buy Powerade, make your own. You need to replenish back up your sodium chloride, magnesium, calcium, potassium. So you can put together these juices together and even add a little bit of pink salt to replenish your electrolytes. Now there are other electrolyte powders in the market. I just haven't tried them. Well, actually I've tried one, and definitely not good tasting, especially if it doesn't come with any flavor, but it does help you replenish electrolytes. You can also get these fruit juices going, and then you can add the electrolyte powder in them to make them better tasting. And when you're eating, you don't want to just jump into like heavy meals, buffet, something like that. You're going to throw up. You're going to work with something hot, something like a stew, maybe like congee, something you can put down easily, and you want to be eating slow. You can begin to keep a food journal. Now you can track the food that you eat, and then the time that it took to go out the back end. You see what I mean? Because a lot of y'all, you have no idea when you use the bathroom what meal it actually was. So many people that are backed up 1 to 2 days at a time, and they ignore these early signs. Then it becomes 2 to 3 days, becomes 3 to 4 days. becomes a whole week into it, they have no idea which meal is exiting out of them. There are only 52 weeks in a year. There are many people all over the world, they're only going to the bathroom once a week. Don't you think that's a problem if you're going to the bathroom only 52 times in a year? Chronic constipation is like this. You need to define it. If you're not going to the bathroom every single day, multiple times a day, you're chronically constipated. I want to give you guys some other tools that could be very helpful on your journey. This is a colon hydrotherapy or colonic. Some of you are so chronically constipated, you may need to go see a colon hydrotherapist first. None of this is professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You have to find the winning combination. The colon hydrotherapist is going to have you lay down on this apparatus with your feet kicked up, and they're going to insert hot water in your rectum to help loosen up this waste material, this hardened fecal matter sitting inside of you, to help you excavate this waste material out of your body. Now, the limitations of a colonic or colon hydrotherapy is that it cannot reach your small intestines. Coming back at the beginning of my presentation, how long is your small intestines? Very long, 4.5 meters, right? And how long is your large intestines? 1.5. This can take care of that 1.5 meters, is 5 feet, but it's not going to get to your small intestines. So you want to study this in depth. Don't take my word for anything. Go to your local library. Go pick up some books on human physiology. Go talk to your doctor, okay? And really look at your body mechanically. When something is off, you want to be identifying, okay, where is that discomfort coming from? Okay, don't just set it aside. You don't want to ignore the early signs. The body's always speaking to you all the time. Now I'm going to provide you guys with some liabilities concerns, because most people, they ignore the early signs of chronic constipation. And let me explain to you what these problems are if you ignore them. First one I'm going to talk about is the toxic megacolon. This is a life-threatening complication of inflammatory bowel diseases. How is it characterized? Well, you get swelling and dilation of the large intestines due to the inflammation and accumulation of large amount of gas, and also feces. This is this fecal matter that could not exit out of the body. The doctors decided that, hey, listen, your colon is completely messed up. We have to completely remove it. So they remove the colon completely. Then you'd be wondering, well, how do you actually get the waste material out of the body if they remove your colon completely? Well, they got a whole bunch of surgeries lined up for you. But most people, they have no idea until they go to the hospital. They're in fear. They're very, very anxious. And what the doctor says, that's just not their head. Well, what can you do to avoid that? And you want to learn about them way in advance. So over here, this is called left hemicolectomy. Doctors decided that your descending portion of your colon completely diseased, so they decided to cut it out. Once they cut it out, they rejoin the remaining sections. When you're studying different medical procedures, you'll find out there's a lot of plug and play. They think that your body's like a USB port or something. Over here, this is a colostomy. They remove this disease section of the colon. Perhaps it was just completely compacted with feces and it's become deadened. Okay, so the doctor will remove it. But next they're going to have to install the stoma. The stoma is a hole, is in the abdominal wall. The doctors put it in the abdominal wall and they're going to put a colostomy bag. You're going to have to manage this bag for the rest of your life to get the waste material out of your body. There are entire TikTok pages or Facebook profile that talk about this. Over here, this is a right hemicolectomy. So the doctors remove the ascending portion of the colon. Now this small little part sticking out right here, that's your appendix. Okay, and over here, your colon over here also produces bifidobacteria, very important. Over here, they remove the section completely, and the doctor is going to plug and play once more. They just get the small intestines to reattach to the colon right here. Over here, this procedure is called an ileoanal anastomosis. So in this procedure, the doctors remove the colon completely. And what they're going to do next, they're going to use the remaining portion of your small intestines. They're going to create a pouch around your anus, which allows the waste material to leave out of the anus. But very likely you'll suffer watery bowel movements. You may not have a lot of control over your bowel movements. You may have to wear adult diapers for the rest of your life. This is an ulcerative colitis. Different symptom flare-ups. It can include diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping. This is an ulcerative surface, ulcerative colitis in the colon. Now we're in an era where doctors are prescribing a lot of antibiotics for everything. Or people are just taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, aspirin, ibuprofen. As they're taking them on a very, very regular basis, that's going to cause a lot of disruption in the colon, in the small and large intestines, a lot of inflammation. And these are the root causes of leaky gut, okay? A lot of digestive problems. Now, when doctors are presented with this situation, what they usually do, they prescribe corticosteroids or immunosuppressants. And what these medications do, they actually just suppress the immune response. So in the short term, you are not experiencing the symptom flare-ups, but you haven't really solved the root of the problem. You guys understand? And this is many people all over the world, that's what they're dealing with. Crohn's disease. This is also part of inflammatory bowel diseases. What are some of the different symptoms? You have diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stool, tiredness or fatigue. This is inflammation in the small and large intestines. Rectal prolapse. I was going down on this path. There was a time I was going to the CVS. I was picking up that preparation H because I was developing hemorrhoids. And the only thing that I knew at the time was, oh, I got to be buying this preparation H to alleviate this itchy feeling down there. Many people have them. So when you're chronically constipated, you have severe straining while you're sitting down, trying to eliminate that waste. Now, as you're doing that, you have a feeling that is almost there, right? But it's never quite there. So you keep on pushing. In the process of doing so, your rectum is actually going to flip inside out. Well, when you have these different colorectal problems, when you go to your GP, they're going to refer you to a proctologist. They're going to snap on their latex gloves and they're going to examine you. They're going to say, well, we're looking at some anal fissures, all right? These are cracks, splits, or breakages that could happen around the anus. Could be very painful, and that also contributes to rectal bleeding. And what they do, they're going to examine right here. They're going to examine the colorectal area. They're going to see if you have anal abscesses and fistulas. This is infected cavity filled with pus near the anus or rectum. They may be looking at internal or external hemorrhoids, swollen veins inside the colorectal area or outside. And they're going to offer you different small medical procedures to fix these things around the colorectal area. That's what they do. That's what the proctologist does. Now, the problem with this is that you haven't really solved the root of the problem. If you're still struggling with chronic constipation upstream, okay, you cannot get the waste material out of your colon. Don't you think over time, you're just going to develop new hemorrhoids, new anal abscesses, okay, anal fissures, rectal prolapse, fistulas. It's endless. And that's the trap, okay? When you are dealing with any type of medical problem, you have to ask yourself, am I solving the problem at the root? Or I'm just only patching up the problem, the surface level problems. Here's another liabilities concern people don't know about, which is fecal and vomiting. Fecal and vomiting, simply somebody's asking in these Facebook forums, has anyone vomited fecal matter because it couldn't go down? What does it need to do about it? And somebody replied, please go to the ER, this is dangerous. What they're explaining here is an example of fecal and vomiting. So let's just imagine somebody, their colon's completely backed up, okay? Completely backed up with feces, it's not going out, but you're still feeling hungry, right? So you're gonna have to eat. Well, that waste material is going to work its way backwards through that 4.5 meters, okay, and that 15 feet. Eventually, all that waste material is going to work its way back into your stomach. You're going to experience violent reverse peristalsis, and you're going to throw up your own feces. Now, this is a PubMed article in a 2-year study at the LA County Harbor General Hospital. There were 23 cases of this, 23 in a 2-year period. So that's about one per month. Now you can extrapolate this out to the thousands of hospitals all around the United States. A lot of people get this. People are posting desperately on Facebook forums because they cannot find any real answers or solutions. People are just posting, I'm impacted, all home remedies, OTC, laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils, quit working last month all of a sudden. The ER can reach it, and their enemas didn't work. The highest doses of lenses does nothing, and the Miralax colonoscopy prep giving me overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction, probably from the hospital enemas I got Saturday. What else can I do? I feel like the impaction is just waiting to get out. Seems like nothing is softening it enough. Over here, somebody else also posting, hello, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation a couple of years now, but it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and lenses, high doses for both, and neither of those medications are working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I have to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous, often in pain. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Docolas, enemas, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now, and one of the nurses in my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Sutab, and I was warned ahead of time that patients often had trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill. So given my struggles, I am doubtful that this will actually work for me. Here's my question. Has anyone here gotten to the point where nothing works? Meds or OTC laxatives, and had to have sort of in-office med procedure done? I am so sick and so miserable. What about fresh colonics? I'm not even sure how those work. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'd be very grateful if you could share with me what you ended up doing and what the outcome was like. Thank you. So put yourself in the shoes of this individual. This person's going through a lot of pain and suffering, but you can break this down to the different paths that she's already gone down. So she already tried a lot of OTC laxatives, nothing works. So later on, this person talked about Trulance and lenses, right? So these are prescription strength laxatives, and this person is saying neither of those medications are working very well for me. And she also tried the colonoscopy, but this person had trouble keeping the bowel prep down. It is this problem on top of problem on top of problem. Look at her. She's talking about, this person's talking about spending about half of their waking hours lying down because they're so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. I see many people go down this path. There are entire Facebook pages full of people. I'm not talking about 10 to 15 people. I'm talking about 10 to 15,000 people. And many of them have gone down this path. They've already tried the OTC laxatives. They went down to see their GI doctors. And they keep on switching from one GI doctor to the next, to the next, to the next, trying one medication to the next, to the next, to the next. At the end of all that, what do they get? Whole lot of nothing. They still have chronic constipation. What could be causing that obstruction? You have to ask yourself. Okay, they've gone down to see all these different doctors, but how come they're not getting their problem resolved? Well, this is something that the doctors often overlook. They overlook internal parasites. So we're going to talk a little bit about internal parasites. And when you talk to your doctors about this, many of them, they're going to roll their eyes. They're going to scoff. at you. They're going to gaslight you. I'm just going to tell you how it is. Because many of them never learn about this when they're in medical school. And they think that, well, we live here in Switzerland, in Canada, United States. This cannot happen. Well, let's learn about some of these organisms. These are full-blown organisms. When they grow to an adult size, when they grow to their adult size, you do not even need a microscope to see them. This is the liver fluke, pinworms, tapeworms, and roundworms over here. People think that, well, this is a developing third world problem. Wrong. People are finding worms in their whole food salmon, in their Costco salmon, also in the real Canadian superstore. Alberta man gets first known Canadian case of worms from grocery store raw salmon. He wasn't the first, and he's definitely not going to be the last. Over here, this is a museum in Japan. In Japan, they have this museum, parasite museum, full of parasites. They have 60,000 specimens in this one museum. The United States has a national parasite collection. They have an annual growth rate. First of all, they got 100,000 different parasites cataloged. So there are thousands of parasites that could potentially attack the human body. All right. And each year, the rate of this specimen collection increases by 1,000 to 1,500. That's how many parasites are out there, and they keep on discovering new ones. You guys want to go look up a lot of great articles and books. Just buy these books. A Century of Parasitology. We've known about parasites for hundreds and hundreds of years. And there are veterinary parasitology reference manuals you guys can also get. You want to get both because a lot of times the parasites from your pets can get into you. That's what happens. So look up the Library of Congress or even Internet Archive, archive.org. You can find a lot of great resources on this topic. Liver flukes are very dangerous. They first hatch in water, study up their life cycles, and they work their way up through the food chain. They attack intermediate hosts such as a snail, grow to a certain size, and they're going to exit out of the snail and land up on some vegetation. You have the cow or the sheep come over and consume this vegetation, and that's how this liver fluke continues to survive. Go do a little bit of homework later. You guys go on YouTube and just type in Animal Planet liver fluke. This lady was suffering with liver flukes for years. A lot of pain and discomfort. She ended up at the ER, and her story was just crazy because at the ER, the doctors ran a whole bunch of tests, and they couldn't find anything wrong with her and told her to go home. Isn't that frustrating? You're experiencing an incredible amount of pain, okay? But most doctors are not even trained to look for internal parasites. So after they run through their basic tests, they can't find anything, they just tell you to go home. That's what they do. If you're in the ranching business, you're going to have to deal with liver flukes almost every year. They get in their side of cattle and sheep, and they have to deal with them. And people are, I don't know, they follow this internet sensation. He calls himself the Liver King. He recommends people to consume raw liver for nutritional content. Well, when you're consuming raw liver, there's always the risk of eating liver flukes, because liver flukes, they love to attack the liver due to its nutritional content. Different parasites, they like to attack different parts of the body. Okay. So you guys want to study that out as well. People are experimenting with fancy food, steak tartars. This is the French version, Korean version, or they're rushing through Korean barbecue. There's just a lot of risk when you're eating undercooked meats or even raw meats. Tapeworms are very common. Okay, this is the rostellum, this is their teeth. This is how they can hook on to your small and large intestines. And they also have these suckers. They anchor themselves onto the intestinal wall, so they're not going anywhere. Over here, this is the life cycle of a fish tapeworm, and they also work their way up through the food chain. You guys can look these up. There are very good diagrams you can find online to study up on these different parasites. And there are different species of tapeworms. They have tapeworms that comes out of beef products and also pork products. The tapeworm anatomy looks like this. This is the head portion that we just looked at, and this is their reproductive system. They have these things called progotids. Progotids is their reproductive system. Over here, inside one progotid, it can produce 100,000 eggs. It is death by 1,000 cuts, you guys understand? Because if you don't get rid of internal parasites, they're just going to multiply on top of you, continue to consume your resources. You're going to have this problem here, you're going to have the skin problem here, you're going to have autoimmune problems, and the doctor, they just keep on prescribing corticosteroids. So this is somebody in Thailand. They extracted a 59 feet long tapeworm from his rectum. 59 feet is roughly 18 meters in length. Over here, if you are dealing with intestinal products, chitlin, collard greens, seafood, hot pot, sushi, sashimi, undercooked, anything, carry a lot of risk for internal parasites. Roundworms are very common in your pets. If you have cats, dogs, rabbits, ducks, I don't care what you have, they all carry a lot of parasites. Some parasites, they can pass down through the next generation during gestation, through the umbilical cord. Okay, so you guys going to look into that as well. This is somebody that's getting all their roundworms extracted out of their colon. These are roundworm parasites. This is not pasta from the Olive Garden. So if you're experiencing stomach aches or pain, nausea, unexplained weight gain or weight loss, swollen lymph nodes, digestive problems, okay, skin problems, rashes, eczema, hives, itching, it could be parasites, because parasites, not only are they surviving and replicating inside of you, they also will use the bathroom inside your body, right? Which is going to cause further inflammation, especially if you're dealing with a stagnant colon, you have trouble emptying your bowels. That's the type of environment parasites love to thrive in. Because it's stagnant, they can just work themselves inside of there. Very problematic. But once again, if you talk to most doctors, they're just gonna gaslight you. And some of them I say, oh, it's all in your head. I'm gonna refer you to a friendly psychotherapist. The cysticercosis, it could take place inside the liver. Okay, over here, it can attack your pets. They have that high reproductive rate, adaptability, strength in numbers, stamina, survival. Over here, somebody extracting a tapeworm out of their cat. Over here, these are roundworms coming out of the American bully. Over here, this is a botfly getting extracted out of a cat's nasal cavity. Botflies are very common in Africa, and they can also attack human beings. So where are the different risks? If you're eating undercooked meats, raw meats, if you're drinking contaminated water, traveling abroad, you don't know how to filter, you don't know how to purify the local water, it's very likely you are drinking in parasites from your pets. A lot of people, they let their pets lick them all over their face. I recently saw a video. It was a yoga experience, but they have a lot of puppies. So it's like yoga with puppies, basically. It's definitely a lot of people go to these things, and the puppies, they lick all over all these participants. Well, unless you know how to deworm your pets, deworm yourself, you're going to get parasites. And over here, even raw vegetables carry parasites. Now, you do have white blood cells. You may be wondering, what is their defense mechanism? How come my immune system isn't working? Well, many people, they're just taking in corticosteroids. When you're on corticosteroid therapy, you are not protected. Okay? Go study that up. So you are dealing with a very weakened immune system. You're basically telling your telling your white blood cells don't go to work. That's what happens when you're on corticosteroid. I'm gonna drink some water. Shit. So if you're on this call, YouTube, let's talk to me. What's going on? What are you going through right now? So let me know what you're struggling with, and maybe it can help you navigate through. Over here, this is somebody getting their roundworms extracted out of the liver. Parasites, they are so aggressive when I talk about them. Okay, you have to use military terms. First, they're going to place a siege. After they siege you, they're going to breach. Because if you're autoimmune problems, you may have a leaky gut problems. They penetrate through the intestinal walls, and now they're attacking another part of your organ. Previously, we saw a whole bunch of roundworms getting extracted out of the colon, right? Well, now they're inside your liver. They're going to occupy that liver, continue to extract the nutrients and new resources. And over time, they're going to capitulate your organs one by one. When you get to go down to the ICU, go take a tour. Just take a quick look at people in the ICU. Many people in the ICU, they're not there because of some emergency. Okay, they're not there because of, acute. Well, nothing like that. Many people there is because of chronic diseases, multiple organ failures, capitulation of their internal organs. Could be liver or kidneys, combination of both, pancreas, right? Many people, they don't even look into this. So you want to be purging your internal parasites early, as soon as possible. Pinworms are also very common. According to PubMed, this is affecting almost 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. If you see a child, they are scratching their behind, well, it could be pinworms. Or even adults. Adults can be dealing with pinworms as well. Today we only went through very, very basic parasites. Recently I've been learning about the ropeworm. The ropeworm is crazy. You guys can look that up yourself. And when you are asking different AI agents, they always want to obfuscate. They want to take you on a whole bunch of detours. Okay, so learn about these different tapeworms. If you learn one tapeworm per day for the next 30 days, that will give you at least a good database of these internal parasites. Next, you want to learn about single-cell protozoan parasites. They are very, very common, and some of them they could transfer from your pets to you. Toxoplasma gondii, or even malaria. Malaria is an example of single-cell protozoan parasites. These are some herbs that could be very helpful, not professional medical advice. So clove bud, wormwood, garlic extract, or oregano extract. There are many different products on the markets. You want to look them up. Wormwood black walnut extract, Vermox. Vermox is mebendazole. This is OTC in many countries. Now, for your pets, you might want to look into Panicure C, Intestine Pro. This is Herbal Products, Intestinal Edge. This is a picture of cysticercosis in the muscle fibers, or parasites could take place in the brain. This is called neurocysticercosis. People experiencing epileptic seizures, severe headaches. They run an MRI scan. They're finding a whole bunch of worms inside their brain. For your pets, you want to look into different deworming products, herbal products. You want to work with a vet. Okay, make sure they have natural ways to do it, natural herbal ways to do it. And this is for Paragard, this is for human beings, but also you got to work with your doctor, naturopathic doctor, holistic doctor. You want to work with professionals out there that understand and they know how to treat these different parasites. Detox in this order. You want to detox the small and large intestines at least 4 times. I don't know what is the path that you need to be taking for yourself. Everyone's a little bit different. You may have to go to the colon hydrotherapist maybe a couple times in a week just to get yourself come back into a okay level, because many people, they're that backed up. They're that severely backed up. They cannot do my protocol right away. They need to divide and conquer this waste material out of that 20 feet, out of that 6 meters. And over time, if you had the proficiency of clearing out the small and large intestines, then you can consider eliminating internal parasites. But if you're completely backed up, you can't get the waste material out of the body. If you take the medications first, then you're going to have a whole bunch of dead parasites sitting inside of you, which is going to make your situation worse. So that's why I highly recommend detoxing the small and large intestines first. Then later on, when you take these anti-parasite medications or herbal blends, you'll be able to flush out the dead parasites. Next, I'm just going to briefly learn and teach you guys about the liver. So before you can detox the liver, once again, study the anatomy. This is the liver, largest internal organ you have. Filters 250 gallons of blood every single day. These are intrahepatic ducts, okay? Connect to the common bile duct. Over here, this is the gallbladder to the left. Over here, this is the pancreatic duct. It was the pancreas right here. Over here, insulin production over here. Gallbladder, bile production, everything comes down through the common bile duct into your small intestine here. So you want to study this very, very thoroughly. So later on, you can learn how to reverse liver damage. Many people now, they're dealing with a fatty liver. They don't even know how to reverse it. They're not even drinking alcohol. The doctor's telling them you have a fatty liver. Well, you are bombarded with a whole bunch of chemicals, toxins, skincare, nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, so many pharmaceuticals products. They're created by petrochemicals. So that's going to put a lot of stress on your liver. Well, how can you get this condition back to this condition? There are ways, but I'm not going to talk about them today. I just want you guys to learn about human physiology before you even dive deep to cleaning out your liver and gallbladder. Because many people, they wait too late, their gallbladder is completely filled up with gallstones, and you're going to have so much problems down the line. And not only do you have congestion in the gallbladder, you may have congestion inside these ducts, these different bile ducts, all right? There are intrahepatic stones that may be lodged inside the liver, and you need to find a way to get them flushed out early, okay? I've done the liver detox protocol 52 times already. I've done it for over 2 years now. So this will be my 3rd year. And these are some of my experiences. No more joint pains, deeper sleep, faster recovery from sports and injuries, restore libido health, faster metabolism, 0 weight loss rebound. Listen, I pretty much have a 6-pack all year round, but I still work out. Now, I'm not at the gym, but I still work out at home. I have weights at home. I'm very, very consistent. If you put in the building blocks, if you put in the right conditions, you're going to have a great physique. Not just having a physique, you want to have vibrant health. To achieve vibrant health, you want to tune up your internal organs. That's why I say you want to get the waste material out. People are chronically constipated, get that waste material out. People are infected with parasites, get the waste material out. People have a congested gallbladder filled with gallstones, get that waste material out. People are stuck with intrahepatic stones in the liver, get that waste material out. Then that's how you can experience faster hair and nail growth, overall youthfulness. You can run longer, lift heavier without supplementation, plus more. Because they want you to go down this path, which is a surgery, right? They're going to extract your gallbladder. If you're experiencing gallbladder attacks, that's what they have for you. And it's a very, very profitable surgery, because there are at least 1.2 million surgeries per year just in the United States. Average cost $4,600, so this is $5.5 billion industry. Also, you guys want to learn about your kidney health, how you can improve your kidney health way in advance. You don't want to wait until they say you have kidney problems or you have, you're at different stages of kidney damage. And because they want to put you on dialysis, right? Because dialysis is very, very profitable. So there are herbal products that can help you dissolve kidney stones. Did you guys know that? They're out there. So I want you guys to learn. The more you learn, the more you have a higher chance of improving your health. Now, I find a lot of people, they know a lot about health, even about natural health, but they're not doing anything. They're just watching these free videos online. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Well, you have to take action. I can't help you detox. I can provide information. I can coach you, right? But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do it. So people are experiencing problems with their prostate, especially a lot of men out there dealing with prostate problems. I always think about the body as permeable membranes. If you're having problems upstream, you're going to have problems downstream. So prostate, this is a downstream situation. So over here, you have the kidneys, ureter, right? And this is your bladder. If you have problems up here in your kidneys, it's going to provide inflammation downstream. Just like with the ladies, if you're having problems upstream, you're going to have problems with UTIs, things like that downstream. If you're having problems with your colon, with chronic constipation, you're going to have a problem downstream. The hemorrhoids, rectal prolapse, anal fissures, abscesses, fistulas. You guys know what I'm talking about? I know it sounds too logical, so most people don't believe. You have to look this up for yourself and really learn for yourself. Whatever problems you're treating right now, are you dealing with the root of the problem, or are you just dealing with the temporary, surface problem? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry once again, right? Dialysis market size, approximately 95 billion 2023, but they got a CAGR, compound annual growth rate, close to 8%. So by 2032, this is going to be about $181 billion industry. What can you do right now to improve the condition of your kidneys so you don't go down this path? So detox in this order. You want to first learn about how to detox the small and large intestines. You want to work with parasite detox. Then you're going to deal with liver and gallbladder flush. You want to deal with kidney cleanse. You're going to deal with heavy metal detox. I know it's a lot, but I have to just present this information in this order, which I think is the safest way to detox. And on a daily basis, you must restore those daily KPIs. You got to have proper urination. Many of you are not using the bathroom often enough because you're not drinking enough water, you're not drinking enough electrolytes. You don't have proper hydration. When you have that, you're going to definitely put stress on your kidneys. And when you're dehydrated, you're going to have problems with your bowel movements. You're going to be chronically constipated. So you have to restore daily bowel movements. And next, you're going to have to do something that's going to make you sweat. Okay? And I don't care if you have to buy yourself a portable sauna. I don't care what you need to do in the wintertime to make yourself sweat. You're going to have to get it done. Most people, they're just so backed up in their lymph system because they don't sweat. And they wonder why the body has to kick itself into high gear with a fever. You got swollen lymph nodes, right? You start to cough, you start to hack. Maybe you have a temperature, right? You have a fever, whatever, because the body is trying to expel all that toxins from your system. And when you try to explain this to most doctors, once again, they say, oh, that's a bad thing. I don't think of it as a bad thing. First, I have to think, all right, what is causing this, right? What is it at the root? The last couple of weeks, most people, they've just been eating so much food. On top of chronic constipation, we talk about Thanksgiving, then you have Christmas, then you have New Year's, right? And then we're going to be dealing with Chinese New Year. The people eat a lot, like one meal after the next for Chinese New Year. Next, you're going to be dealing with candy and Valentine's, all that mess. You see how we are just overloading our bodies with so much food, but your elimination detoxing pathways are so poor. So my name is John. I coach people how to detox. It's part of what I do, and I want to just send you guys my link in. This is one of my programs, DABOT, the Summer Body Transformation Challenge, and I want you guys to look into this program for yourself. And I have other programs as well. This is one of my many programs. I also have one-on-one coaching, okay? Because everyone, your starting point is a little bit different. So when you go on my link tree, you can fill out this questionnaire. I'm also going to include it over here so you guys can fill this out, okay? I don't know where you guys are at, but you want to maximize your success, right? You're going to maximize your success by putting in the work, learning about your system, learning about your physical body, and how you can improve it over time. Okay, so I want to open up the rest of this for questions and Q&A. So you can have a Q&A with me, and I can go over specific slides. And I think that will be a very useful for your time. 2025, let's go. Right, what are you dealing with right now? Right? How do you want to improve your health? So let's talk about it. So I'm just going to go back into my slideshow. So let me know what you want to go over. I can see your comments. So just let me know what type of questions you have regarding digestive health. But thanks for showing up, and listening to my presentation. Go to the first slide. Not first slide, but yeah. So I'm just talking to people. Yeah, what questions do you have for me? I'm talking to somebody on YouTube.